Good evening. It's Cheltmas.
Merry Cheltmas.
Merry Cheltmas, everyone. Merry Cheltmas, Dave. Right,
Mm.
before we get cracking, we're not gonna hang about. I want to introduce the people who got me. This is my brother Greg Russell, myself, Cliff Thorne, and on my right we got Cheltenham Grade One winning owner, Dave Stato Statham. So
He's
let's
on your
go.
left, by the way.
Let's try let's try and mark your card. Let's try and get some winners. Let's try and make it a profitable week. We'll crack straight on with the Citroen Supreme Novice Hurdle. Grade 1, 2 miles.
Is it Citroen still?
Not Citroen, no, sorry, Michael O'Sullivan. Sorry, let's
Yeah.
mention that one thing. He
We
was
should
very
mention
sad
that.
news, Michael O'Sullivan, what happened to
Yeah.
him. So yeah, let's crack on. Who would like to go first on the Citroen?
Well, it's,
Michael O'Sullivan, not Supreme
well,
Novice
it's
Hurdle.
more of a good race for you than it's been for me over the years, so why don't you start?
Okay. Um, I think the favourite Quebec de Board is going to be very tough to beat, if I'm honest. I think if everything goes right for him, he'll probably win. He probably is the best horse in the race. But he has a tendency to get himself a little bit worked up sometimes. So I think he, of the hot favourites tomorrow, he might be one that might be opposable. And I will not go big, but I will probably go a small each way on Henry Bromhead's horse, Rachel Blackmore, work ahead. He was very impressive in a maiden at Leopardstown last time and recorded the same time, pretty much identically the same time as Kopek de Boer did half an hour earlier on the same card. There are other ones in here you can make chances for. I wouldn't rule out William Money, who that day work ahead beat quite comfortably, to be fair. I wouldn't rule out Mullins' other one, Salvatore Monday, although again I'm not keen on his jumping. And another one if I was Kopek de Boer, the one I'd probably most scared of is Romeo Coolio. But for me, I'm going to try for a little each way here. I'm hoping to get a decent, maybe a double figure price. That can't be right, surely. And yeah, that's where I'll be. Work ahead for me. Nothing big though, small each way. I probably think the favourite will win.
Right, he's 8-1 with me.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. That's a much better price. It's much more sensible.
Bobo?
I don't really have too much to add. I've tried to find a way of getting Kopek de Board beat in this race. And of course he could. It's a horse race, but I think he's the most likely winner, as Clive just said. I put Romeo Coolio as number two, and they are the first and second favourites. Although Romeo Coolio is nearly each way value at 6-1. I don't fancy Salvatore Monday. I just don't think he jumps well enough, and I think Paul Townend would be riding him if he was the one. I agree with Clive, William Money, and Work Ahead both have a chance. And out to the rags, Tripoli Flyer maybe has a small squeak at 22-1. There's only two English horses in this race, Tripoli Flyer and Tutti Quanti. Tutti Quanti's from our local trainer Paul Nichols. Got a lot to find on the form, but very nice horse for the future, but a lot to find on the form book for tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to be in the Kopek de Board camp. I'm afraid, pretty dull.
Yeah, but likely winner. Gregory, anything to add on that?
No, the same. I've been Kopek de Board. It's the one on paper. You know, I think he's one you can stack up in an accumulator.
It feels like a bit of a boring start to the festival, but
I'm going to go with.
profit's better than.
I'm just going to have a little each way for an interesting race on Tripoli Flyer. I like the way he finished in the Dovecot. He didn't hurdle great though, to be fair. But he really finished his race well, and he might be one that's staying on at the end and might run into a place.
Did you say there was even money about Kopek de Board?
Yes.
That's not a bad price, I don't think. And the fact that Mullins has got 7 in the race, and Paul Cowland's picked this one, that's a tip in itself, isn't it? So yeah, that's the Supreme. Yeah, that's not bad. I might have a bit of evens.
Evens,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's the Supreme.
Press the repeat button for
Repeat
the
button. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is going to be unanimous across the card. If he jumps, bar something happening to him, I can't see Masper getting beat. For me, he's arguably the banker of the day.
Well, I backed Django Bay each way, and he posted 12-1, hoping it'd be
Would
more.
he still get second?
5 runners.
on an anti-post. I think you probably will anti-post. Yeah.
Yeah, I backed him about a month, about 3 weeks ago at 12-1 each way, but I was hoping it'd be more
He's got
runners.
He's got form over further. I read today that Henderson's got no problem with him dropping back to 2, and I think they're going to make it. He said they're going to try and get him at it because he jumps so well. So yeah, if there was a shock, I would be with Greg. I think Django Bay's probably the only one in it that
I said I wanted 8 runners, and but now it's gone down to 5. I think that might play into Madge's hands even more.
Yeah.
So
What do you think about Loda Sood, Dave? You know
Well,
Dan, don't you?
yeah, I do know Dan. Wish him all the best. And Harry, I mean, he's had an immaculate campaign in his 4 novice chases, 4 wins. I just feel his form at this stage is a little bit below the very top level. Last season over hurdles, he was a very, very high class handicap hurdler, but he wasn't a grade one hurdler. He was second in the county hurdle at the Cheltenham Festival. He was second also in the Betfair hurdle, I think, last year.
Yeah, he was.
Very,
Yeah.
very high class handicap form, but that puts him in about 150s. His rating, he's 156 over fences, so arguably he is a bit better over fences. But Madgeburgh's already sitting at 162 after 2 runs. He's obviously a Cheltenham Festival winner. He won the Triumph Hurdle last year. I think he's a good thing. I think he wins.
We heard something funny earlier though. They were talking one of those like preview things. Meg was on it, and she was saying that they're really confident about Madgeborough, saying they think he's, even with Sergino in it, they still thought he could win. And then Rich Ritchie said he couldn't blow smoke up Sergino's arse.
Yeah.
It made me laugh. Well, that was funny. So yeah, a bit boring again, but that's it's Madgeborough for me.
Yeah.
I think if there was
Nice
going to be a big shock for me, it would be the Gavin Cromwell mare, Only by Night. I've been really impressed by her. I thought she was an absolute shoe-in to run in the Mare's Chase, which I think she'd have a real winning chance in. But they've come here. Obviously, it's bigger prize money, and they're obviously hoping to get some place money, I would think. If anything happened to Madgeborough, I wouldn't put it past Only by Night to be the one at 10-1.
Yeah, so that's the Arkle. Another favourite, I'm afraid. Right. The 240, the first handicap of the day, the ultimate handicap chase over 3 miles, 1 furlong, 24 runners. I think
proper race.
without blowing my own trumpet, I am blowing my own trumpet. I've had 4 of the last 5, and the one that didn't win was second. So I've got a pretty decent record in this, and I think I fucking know I've got the winner again. I really like Sam Thomas's Katati Dory. It bolted up at Kempton last time by 15 lengths, and it's gone up £12. But Dylan Johnson is back riding it now, so that takes 3 off. I just think this race is made for this horse. The only worry is that race was 17 days ago, and he has never been round Cheltenham before, which is a big stat in this race. But I don't see anything about Cheltenham that would bother Katati Dory. He stays, he jumps, he's young, he's improving, he's a novice who's got terrific records. He's well weighted. Yeah, he's the only one, he's the one in it for me. He's probably the only one I'll back. Katati Dory for me. I've already backed him at 10. He's currently, what have you got there, Dave? 7-1. I still think that's a good price. I can't see him being out of the frame.
I agree with you. I think when the runners first came out, I phoned you up and said I think he's got the way he won last time. He looked like he had £12 in out to me.
And at that stage, you didn't think he'd get in the race.
No, no. So, but he is in the race. All right, a £12 rise is a big rise, but he's got 3 off. But the way he won
with £12 in hand easy.
And he beat a good field. I mean, that's
a very competitive race.
That's a decent race.
Like I said just now, I don't know. I mean, Dave knows the ins and outs of horses better than I do. 17 days, is that enough to recover from race? He didn't really have a tough race, did he?
It's tight enough. I always think 3 weeks to a month is ideal. But having said that, I went to a funeral today for Pat Rodford, a Cheltenham Festival winning trainer who won with Holmwood Legend. And in the video, they were showing that Holmwood Legend had won 7 days previously to winning that competitive handicap at Cheltenham. So when horses are in form and conditions suit, I think, strike while the iron's hot.
And earlier on this season, he raced, what was it, three races in 16 days, and he won 2 of them and was second in the other. So, that's Katati Dory for me. I'll let the others speak when I come back to something each way, maybe.
I'll just think, one that if you really like a big price, and he's only had 1 run this season, he's top on Gregor, he's right up there on Gregor Rate. This Gregor Rate's my ratings, I do, by the way. I know this might bring a few looks, but he's Happy Go Lucky. What is he, 33-1? Is he?
But 22's on it, but I've got Sky Bet up. I don't use them.
22-1.
He's the best handicapped horse in the race on his old form. He was 5th. He's had 1 run this year. He was 5th over a short trip. Was that behind Moon d'Orange? I think he was 5th behind Moon d'Orange.
Who's that?
Happy Go Lucky.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
he's with a new trainer as well.
He's a course winner. He's gone in the ground. He's £9 lower than his winning mark. They've dropped him another 3. I think he could maybe. I don't know if he can win it, but
he's 22nd in it 1 year before.
He was
second to Finish Clouds.
Yeah, I think
Finish Clouds beat him.
He ran in it last year, but it was the ground was too soft.
Yeah, he was fifth. He was fifth to Moon d'Orange last on his first run for Melrose
Yeah,
at Cheltenham.
and he hadn't had a run for a while. So
No,
It's 28 to 1 bet 365,
I think
and they're
I'm not.
paying
I'm not.
six places.
I'm not saying he's going to win the race, but you'll get six in that. 28 to 1. If you want, if anyone wants a nice like big each wayer, that's my big each wayer in that race. Happy go lucky.
Dave?
But I like the Fay as well.
I know the favourite, the Changing Man, is popular with a lot of people. It's a horse I know relatively well because my old horse Stay Away Faye come up against him a few times. He does kind of like to finish second in the race he won last time out. The main danger of Nicky Henderson's fell early, so that race I think possibly flatters him a bit. Admittedly, the handicapper didn't hammer him. Um, and another thing, he is inclined to belt a fence. He fell on his first run this season, and I have seen him take a few with him, so he's not for me. One thing I would say, when the Russell brothers converge on the same horse in a handicap as they have with Catate Dore, it usually spells bad news for the bookmakers. So I'm with him. I backed him at tens, and I've got him in a double with my nap of the meeting, which will be revealed later.
I wouldn't rule out some of the others. I don't know. I like Broadway Boy. I backed him a couple of times, but 11 stone 12 is a big ask in this. The changing man, going back to what Dave said, I totally agree. I can see him getting in the frame. I just can't have him winning it. He might prove me wrong. Krabilli, I don't think will get the trip. Henry's Friend's another one I give a chance to, but now the weight's gone up 11.7. I think that's a big ask. Is he good enough to win it with 11.7? Some of the others, Victorino, I think the handicapper might have got him now. Trelawn, ground gone. Uh, Dave's old horse, Stay Away Favourite, came back to its best because it easily run into a place, but I don't think the weight's going up has helped him either.
Famous Bridge could go well. He's like,
Yeah,
horses
yeah,
that run in
ruling
this race, horses that run in it. He was fourth in it last year in really heavy ground.
And that ground won't be that ground won't be that good that fast on the first
And
day.
you find horses that run in this race run well in it again. And he was fourth last year, and he's
He's gone up by a mark now, though, isn't he?
only £4, but it was a good win last time in the that Grand National trial. I'm good at the soft ground, so he'll definitely get the trip. I just think last year the ground done him. It was too well, it was deep ground, wasn't it last year?
It was, yeah. Can I just say this race? I probably said it open years before. The Irish have got a terrible record in it. I think their last winner was Dundera, which I think was what 2006. So you're looking for an English horse in this, and you're looking for something normally lower down the handicap. And Kadati already ticks both those boxes. There is one stat though that a lot of the last, I think the last dozen winners had all been to Cheltenham before, and he hasn't. But I don't see him being a problem for him, do you?
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, coming back to a couple of horses, obviously, I know Stay Away Faye well. He's been a star for us. He won the Albert Bartlett, the Spud race, as we call it, in 2023.
Well, we call it. He didn't know what he was on about.
He started off great over fences last year, won his first two novice chases, beating Grey Dawning and the Changing Man at Exeter, then beating the Lucinda Russell horse at Sandown, Giovinco. Rock solid form. Then he went to the Cotswold Chase against the older horses, finished a very good third, not beaten far in open class. And then the wheels have really come off. He pulled up in the Brown Advisory when we really fancied him last year. He pulled up in the Scottish National, which was probably a race he shouldn't have gone for anyway. And he came back over hurdles on Boxing Day this year. Travelled with a bit more of his old zest, but again cut out and pulled up. So he's got 3 pulled ups to come back from.
He did go well in the racecourse gallop, though, didn't he?
Yeah, and he schooled well. I mean, he's got physical issues. That's obviously why he's had problems. I won't go into them now, but if he comes back to that Cotswold Chase form, he will nearly win this. I agree with Clive. Going up to 11 stone 12 has not helped him. But it'd be just nice to see him run a nice race and come back in one piece. And perhaps I know the owners would like to go to the Grand National, so he needs to show some spark in this race to warrant going to Aintree. Another one I've got a bit of a soft spot for is the top weight Trelawn. I know Kim Bailey. I've spoke to Kim Bailey several times about this horse. He really is the apple of his eye. He thinks he's a really, really good horse. Won smartly first time out at Haydock this year, and then he's run a couple of slightly disappointing races, 2 fourths when we thought he would probably win. So again, he's got a bit to prove. He's got top weight, and he's known to be a mudlark. So you've got to think a lot of things are against Trelawn, but I wouldn't be surprised if he ran a big race because the trainer thinks there's a lot of talent in there. And one at a huge price, 33 to 1, I'd just like to put up, I think could be placed. is the Alan King horse Grandeur Dam. She was second beating a short head over 2 miles 5 here the last time, behind I think it was Moon d'Orange
It
again.
was, yeah, battle up the hill, wasn't it?
Now, unproven at the trip, it's been running at mainly 2.5 miles in those competitive handicap chases. But if that horse gets a trip, it's got Cheltenham form, as Clive has already pointed out, that can be important. I don't think it's the worst outsider at 33 to 1. 11 stone one's quite an attractive weight. So that's just one to have a pound each way on, I think. Grandeur Dam.
So we're all in agreement. Cotati Dore is our main one in this. Greg, you're each way happy go lucky.
Yeah.
I would probably, if I was going to have an each way bet in it, well, I have. I was back because I back thinking at 10 to 1. But I would probably have a go on Victorino. He always runs his race, and 25 to 1. I could see him making the first six of that once.
Well, if he runs like he did
Yeah.
at Newbury, he should do, shouldn't he? And then he won it, and then he won again.
That's good, isn't it?
That's worth pointing out to everyone out there who's having a bet who maybe doesn't bet every weekend. There will be some advantageous each way conditions in races like this. Probably first 5, maybe first 6, depending on your bookmaker. So just be aware of that. Because obviously getting one in the first 6 is a lot easier than getting one in the first 3.
Yeah. 6 places, bet 365 in the Ultima. And Victorino 25 to 1 could easily see him getting the first 6. And that's like having a 5 to 1 winner, isn't it? Well, that's the Ultima. Move on to the Close Brothers Mares Hurdle, which looked like it was going to be a very open race, didn't it? But now Lossiemouth has come here and bottled the champion hurdle. So she looks like the most likely winner. Does anyone else think anyone think she can get beat?
There's doubts in my mind because
I don't think 4 or 6 is.
No, that's a terrible price.
I think that's too short.
I think she had a very, very heavy fall at Leopardstown, and you never know how that's going to affect them when they go back to the course. I think she's much better at this trip, 2 mile 4. I think this is her trip. You know, she won this race last year. If she comes back to that form, she'll win. But there's just little bits of doubt. She wasn't at her best at Kempton either, behind, or so they say, behind Constitution Hill. So I don't know. There's little kernels of doubt, and there's some good fillies in this race. Jade de Grugy from the same stable. I think that's a decent filly. Joyeuse has been supplemented by Nicky Henderson.
Bolted up in the William Hill, what used to be the Betfair hurdle.
She's got a bit to find on official ratings, but she is an improving filly. And I'm going to let Greg talk about one later down. Take No Chances. That's got a chance. And the ground being, if it is on the drier side, I think Dysart Enos would have
25 to 1.
Would have a each way squeak.
The only problem with that though, Dave, this race, I mean, 25 to 1 seems like a really nice price about Dysart Enos. 20 to 1 about who Greg's going to talk about in a minute as well. But this race, only 3 places.
Yeah.
Which is, it's hard, like Dave just said, he pointed out, getting one in the first 6 is a damn sight easy than getting one in the first 3. But at those prices, I like Joy. I back to when she won the William Hill hurdle, as did Dave, and we hacked all over Greg's horse. And I'll be tempted. I think 11 to 1's a decent price, but like Dave just said, at 25 to 1, if that ground is on the dry side, Dysart Enos, she's a good mare. I like she was disappointing last time, but if you look at her form, she's got some real good form.
She does win for my horse on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, of course. Anyway, Greg, let's talk about your one now.
Well, I've already backed Take No Chances each way. I think if you fancy Joyeuse, then you've got to fancy Take No Chances because she was giving him £15 and got beat her neck. So, and then she went and beat Cargazy over a trip. I think it's too short for Take No Chances, to be honest. She outstayed Cargazy.
Who
was a top there who beat Madsborough over hurdles last year.
Yeah, Cargazy pulled the jockeys that pulled Paul Townend's arms out, but even so, that's still very good form.
I don't think he'd give it a great of rides neither for Townend. He's usually spot on, but I don't know what he was playing at that day, but Take No Chances out battled it under running. I just think I've already backed it each way at 20 to 1. I was hoping Lossiemouth weren't going to run, to be honest, because that's now why everything's drifting like a barge, because Lossie weren't meant to be in it, was she? No, so I thought 14 to 1 was a good price. I cashed out and went in and cashed out, took the £3 loss and went in again at 20 to 1. So
I don't very often feel sorry for punters who back anti-post because I do it and do my money all the time, but I do feel a little bit sorry in this race for those people that would have backed Golden Ace, who Jeremy Scott, the trainer, came out in the press and said she was more than likely going for this race, and then suddenly at declaration, she's in the champion hurdle. Yeah. So I would say there's a few people who've done their money there, which is unfortunate. I mean, on all known form, Lossiemouth should win again. It should be yet another favourite. But
would you out of like Kopeck the Ball of Madsborough, champion hurdle to come and Lossiemouth, who would you say were at those odds on favourites is the most likely to get beat? Is it her or is it Kobek the Board, or who do you think? Or are they all going to win? They don't always all win, do they?
No.
I think Kopek.
What about July Flower, David? Do you know much about her?
I
The
think
problem is
that-
she used to be French trained, didn't she? She literally had one run for the Bromhead, didn't she?
Mm.
I mean,
She won well, I think,
Yeah.
in Ireland last time out. Don't know much about her, to be honest. Again, it's a very competitive race. You know, Jatara's got some nice form. You know, Mullins is Gala Marceau. They're not complete rags, even though they're 33 to
Carla
1.
Conti ain't got bad form either.
No. So I think the favourite is too short.
I
I
do.
think I think she should be more like an even money shot. And for that reason, I don't think I'll be backing her. And I certainly
No.
wouldn't be lumping on like I would be some of the others that are to come yet
Yeah, I might
on day one.
I might have a little bit, depending on the prices. Each way on Joy was just out of because she won for me last time. But at those prices, I'll probably have a few quid each way on Dice or Enos at 25 to 1.
Well,
She could easily run into a place, couldn't she?
yes, I think so.
On
On
she
better
does,
ground.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all think probably Lossiemouth's the most likely winner, but we're willing to have a few quid on something else to. Yeah, like I say, or something they don't always win, do they? Like you
Well,
said, she had a heavy fall last time. That sometimes plays in their
knocks her
next to
confidence.
confidence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Right. So that's where we stand on that. Let's go to the 4 o'clock, which is the biggest race of the day, the Unibet Champion Hurdle Grade 1 over 2 miles. And this is what we all wanted to see. We all wanted to see Bright Days Head coming. I'm glad they did. She is obviously a terrific mare, but I cannot have her beating Constitution Hill. If he is 80% of the horse he was, he wins this head in chest.
I think he only has to be
I want-
50%.
I really want to see. I really want to see them. I don't. Look, if she beats him, then fair play to her. I just can't have it, and and it would please me to watch them going back over the Irish Sea with their tail between their legs. And I really want Constitution Hill to win this. I don't know if I'll be able to back it at that price, but this might just be a watch for me. And Chiroma great.
He wins head in chest for me. Hard held. 10 lengths.
Done about 10 lengths, but
I think it's going to be a destruction job. I really do.
I
I think this horse is special. He's one of the best hurdlers I've ever seen. I think he's like a Franco of the flat.
he's obviously had his problems over the last year. But and you could say that the 2 runs this year weren't super impressive. But I watched his gallop at Kempton, and he looked good. And then I watched him schooling the other day, and he looked absolutely magnificent.
Magnificent.
Yeah, absolutely magnificent. So yeah, I think they've got him pretty much back to his best, and if he is that at that, he wins.
You say he won that. Apart from that little hit
Yeah,
flip at the last, he was going to win that how he liked.
yeah, I know, and he did win it how he liked. But what's behind him is their handicap, isn't they?
Yeah.
I've got nothing really to add other than I think Constitution Hill's an absolute stone bonking certainty. The Irish, I'm hoping, are going to absolutely lump on Brighter Days Ahead.
Yeah, me too.
Which makes the price on him drift tomorrow. For me, Brighter Days Ahead looked very impressive visually in Leopardstown the last day, but let's be fair, that was very flattering.
Yeah.
State Man, for whatever reason, had a very, very rare day off and didn't turn up.
He got beat by Winter Fog.
Winter Fog was second. That's a handicapper as a county hurdler.
Not even a very good one.
No. So I think she was flattered by that. I don't think any of the horses behind ran their races. And I think if Constitution Hill was in that race, he'd have won it equally as impressively, if not more. He does have to give us £7 in weight, which we mustn't forget. And mares do have a good record in the champion hurdle with Honeysuckle and Epicant and
recent years. Yeah.
So we mustn't, underestimate that. But the vibes I'm getting from the interviews I've seen with Henderson and Nico de Boinville, who are not ones to gush about a horse, they are supremely confident.
Yeah, I heard Nico say, "I don't care who comes." And Nick, I was watching a preview night when Tony Mullins said he heard after the gallop at Kempton, he heard Nicky Henderson say, "Well, that's it then." And he said, when Nicky Henderson says something like that, you have to listen.
Yeah. If I'm going to put a rag for a place, I think there's going to be a lot of pace in this race. Burdett Road likes to go forward, and Sam Twiston-Davis is a very forward jockey anyway. And obviously King of Kingsfield is in to set the pace for Brighter Days Ahead. And then I see them two going at it in front with Brighter Days Ahead probably settling third and Constitution Hill fourth. Now, we all believe that Constitution Hill will pick him up and carry him once he turns in. And I just see one running on from the back who really gets 2 miles four. Has won over 2 miles four. I think Golden Ace could be one to get a place. Whether she beats State Man, I think State Man's the most likely horse to be second or third with Brighter Days Ahead. But I think Golden Ace at 33s. The others could just cut their throats. That's all I think. They might all go a bit quick. And when that hill kicks in, she could be picking up from the back and
Yeah.
get a place.
I agree with Dave about the price. I really hope they come for Bright Days Ahead and he drifts. You might even get a bet boost on some, with some first. If you could get even money tomorrow, continue, I'd be all over it.
Yeah.
Come on, that hill. Come
Yeah,
on.
come on.
Right, the 440
Got a pin job.
is the
The toughie.
is this the
Well,
Fred
they've
Winter?
won winner of it.
The Fred Winter Juvenile Hurdle. It's basically like the backup to the Triumph Hurdle. It is a tough race. It does throw up shocks. It's hard to know your colours to any sort of mast in this.
So it's an absolute bookie's benefit.
Yeah, it is a bookie's benefit. I agree, but I'm still going to have a bet in it. And the one I like, the price is gone though. I mean, I think last week, what is he on bet? The one I like is down the bottom there on 10 stone.
Hot fuss, isn't it?
Yeah, Hot Fuss on 10 stone 12. It's trained by Tom Daskin, who usually normally trains on the flat. And first time up this season, it was the closest any horse has got to the Triumph favourite East India Dock. It was only beaten 4 lengths. Then it won on heavy ground at Sandown. And then it went to Cheltenham and not Cheltenham, sorry, Chepstow. And it didn't jump very well. It was that day when it was really foggy. I think it was Welsh National Day. It didn't jump very well. And they took off the cheek pieces and they ran him on the flat in a visor. And tomorrow he's going to run in blinkers. When I first looked at this race, he was like 20-1. I'm just looking on Bet 365, and now he is. Where is he? He is 10-1, which isn't as good a price as I thought I was going to get. But now I've said what I've said. I've got to stick with him, so that's where I'll be. Just a small bet on Hot Fuss, and then maybe I'll put in an each way multiple bet as well. Davo, Greco, anyone?
Yeah, well, I'll go next. I like a couple in this. I like Liam Swagger for James Owen, Sam Tishan Davis is riding. Ran 14-1 at the moment. He ran on the flat on the all weather and absolutely hosed up, and then he got beat by.
As did Hot Fuss, didn't he? Hot
Yeah.
Fuss is one on the flat since he does
Yeah,
it, right?
he won on
And
the
then,
stand.
then he got beat by an horse called Believe It If You Can in soft ground, but he nearly fell at the fourth. Liam Swagger. He was down on his nose.
And that horse won today.
Did it? Did
Yeah,
it?
Believe
Believe it, you can.
won
Won
today,
today, yeah.
So he,
Fat Castle today.
he, when he was down right down on his nose, and he doesn't like soft ground, and then he made another mistake at last, and he gave Believe It You Can £10 and only got beat by half a length. So before that he won both his hurdles. So I think he could be one to come into a place for 14-1. But the one I've sort of latched on a bit to over the last say a couple of days is Patrick. What's his name? Joseph O'Brien's horse, Beyond Your Dreams.
Okay.
I've sort of latched onto him a bit, and I think
In the McManus colours.
yeah. Well, the first three in the bet are all McManus, but I've sort of I don't know. I think he's got a good weight, 10-13, and you know what O'Brien's like in these colours. I've done it with Lark in the morning last year. So
My last winner of this was trained by Joseph.
but he's only 6-1, so I can't really. It's hard to back to win in a race like this. I like to back each way. So
yeah, I was hoping for a bigger price than that on the one I mentioned.
so they're the two for me. Beyond Your Dreams.
I haven't looked at the stats, but I bet if you
Liam
go through
Swagger.
the prices of the winners of this race, they've been
Yeah,
more on the larger side than the shorter side.
I reckon so.
I mean, last year's was favourite. Lark in the Morning, they backed that off the boards.
That's an handbrake job.
What do you think about this year's favourite, Stencil?
I don't fancy Stencil.
No, I don't,
French
I
horse.
don't, if I'm honest.
I
They
think,
can't win, but
I think 11-11 is a stiff ask.
yeah.
I'd like something with a bit less. Funny enough, I also like Beyond Your Dreams of Joseph O'Brien's for exactly the same reason that the trainer knows how to plot one out for this race. He's got a lovely weight at 10 stone 13. I suspect with his second first, he's been keeping his light under a bushel for this race. But again, I haven't backed it yet. And again, the price has gone from 10s to 6s. So it's getting a bit tight now, although we'd all like a 6-1 winner, fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's one I would consider. I can't disagree with Clive. Hot Fuss definitely has a chance. Um, Willie Mullins' horse that Paul Townend rides, Sunny Bill, it actually ran better than its finishing position suggested last time at Leopardstown, I thought. He's got a bit of an awkward head carriage.
Running against better quality, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's been running in sort of grade one quality, so he would have a chance. But again, he's got 11 stone 12. Um, Funny enough, Greg had already mentioned Liam Swagger to me. I went through his form. He's got a great chance, I think. I like his price, so I'm probably going to side with him. And I'd give Harry Cobden a chance on the better ground on Contock Hills.
Yeah.
He's been around Cheltenham a couple of times. His form was really good until his last run, which was on very bad ground.
Yeah, that's the race that Terra Firma was in that race as
That's
well.
it.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And he's got 11 stone 2. I think he's each way 20 to 1. He would, him and Liam Swagger are probably the two I'd go for.
That's behind East India Dock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going back, I mean, just looking at previous winners, I can't get the prices, but I can see there was something like Jazzy May when he was a big price. Brazil was a big price. Even Jeff Kidder was a massive price when he won it. I think Aramax was pretty fancy. Bandle Outlaws was favourite. That's my last winner of it. Veneer of Charm, he was a big price. The last British winner was 2017, so that doesn't bode well for my horse. Although he's a British trainer, he's a flat trainer normally. Did he used to work for someone who was a jump trainer, Tom Dascombe?
Oh, he used to work for Ron Hodges and Martin Pike. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So that's where we are. Yeah, I'm probably just an each way on Hot Fuss. I'll have to have a look at Beyond Your Dreams with them both them fancying it. I don't want them beating me. Right, let's go. But the last race of the day is
Let
the.
Dave start with this one, shall we?
Oh yeah, let Dave go first here because is this your banker of the week or the banker of the day?
Oh, this is the banker of the week.
Okay. Shit. He's gonna hate what I've got to say.
Oh, sorry.
Right. So this is the Princess Royal National Hunt Challenge Cup Novices Handicap Chase. This race has had its conditions changed over the years. It used to be a 4-miler. It's now 3 miles 6. And it's now a handicap, whereas in the last few years it hasn't been a handicap, and it has always been reserved for amateur riders. And this year the professionals are in. Personally, I'm in favour of all the changes made. I think it's made it a much more competitive race.
Totally agree.
And the fact that Willie Mullins hasn't got a shoal of horses in here, he has got a runner, but he's been running high class grade 1 horses just to get another win because they were on level weights. Now they're handicapped. I think it's made it a much better race. Anyway, as a horse I took a shine to early on this season. First time out, he was second at Chepstow. He would have won, but absolutely clattered through the last. Since then, he's jumped like a stag. He's won at Cheltenham. And he was third last time, had a run over hurdles just to keep his eye in for this race. The trainer has said all the way along, all through the season, this horse is going for this race. He's got form on good ground. He's got form on soft ground, but we know it's going to be somewhere in between. And that horse is Haiti Colors. He's the second favourite, round about 9 to 2, maybe 5 to 1.
Favourite.
Haiti Colors is actually favourite now.
He carries
4-1.
11 stone 4. He's got a lovely weight, I think, in this race. And if you fancy him, you've got to fancy the Neil Mulholland horse Transmission as well, who's not got much to make up. He's slightly better off at the weights. Haiti Color beat him. But I know if it comes to a tight finish, Ben Jones is going to outride Patrick Mullins. So come on, Haiti!
So going back on the end of what Dave just said, the Transmission race.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
When they met at Cheltenham last time, it was he got beat by 2 lengths, and Transmission was staying on. And I personally think they went another third on, he would have got him. He's got a £4 reverse for 2 lengths. I think the extra trip will suit him. He jumps fine. He's been around this course, ground fine. It's going to be close between these two, but I'm just starting to lean towards Transmission getting the trip better than Haiti Colors. But like Dave said, they've had this race in mind all season, so they obviously think he will stay the trip. But I'm absolutely positive, 100% that Transmission will. I think he's crying out for a mega distance, and I think he might turn Haiti to Colors over. Sorry, Dave.
I'm in the high 80 camp. And Jericho Rock chase him home.
Jericho Rock was second in the Ultima to Correct Rambler, the first time Correct Rambler.
I thought for the layoff, that was a lovely third he ran in last time. But he's never won a chase, has he? don't think Jericho Rock's ever won over fences, but I'm not saying he's going to win this one. I'm just saying he'll get a place.
I remember what's his name? It was the one that won the national for us. He was in the maiden over fences. He won
Rolled a
Grand
well.
National, yeah.
Rolled a well.
I mean, the anti-post favourite for this race, he's still showing favourite on my book.
I don't fancy him at all.
Now is the hour of gathering promos. I've been through his form. I can't understand how this horse is even anywhere near favourite.
If it was an hurdle, I get it. But what he's done over fences, you can't back him on that.
And he's never run on ground this good.
No.
Admittedly, he might love it and improve, but I can't see how he's favourite. The favourite should be between Haiti Color and Transmission, in my opinion. I can't have Captain Cody of Mullins. Resplendent Grey is a horse who doesn't jump well enough, but if he gets
got
the jumping
form.
together,
It's the same with Kintara. If that could jump better, I think that.
That one, I think, who will appreciate this marathon trip is I don't know how to say it, Hashting. But he's another one. He don't jump well enough. But mind you, they are going to go that significantly slower over this trip.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very tight between Transmission, but I just think that the marathon trip is really going to be up Transmission Street. He was miles behind when Haiti Claus won earlier on in the season.
we backed him that day, or I did.
Oh yeah, you did.
Mm.
And like it's very similar profile. Like Haiti Claus, he had a run over hurdles. It was in the Cleve, a Grade 1. He was last, to be fair, of 6, but he wasn't that far behind graded horses over hurdles. I just worry that he might give himself too much to do because he likes to be like held up off the place. And if Haiti gets first run on him, I don't see him getting it back. But I think they'll try and ride him close to pace over that trip. It's going to be tight between those two, but I'm slightly leaning towards Transmission.
High 80 for me.
High 80 in a double with a Katati Dory. Get on.
If Beyond Your Dreams beats me and then this beats me, I'm not fucking coming on tomorrow. Right, and that's it. That's the first day over, boys.
Good luck,
So, yeah,
everyone.
good luck, everyone. Hopefully, there's some winners in there we'd give you. If there's not, we probably only get 3 viewers tomorrow. That'll be us.
And as they say in Spain,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Merry Cheltmas, everybody.
Merry Cheltmas.
Enjoy.
Down, lads.
We